It's time to go into the SPP Film Room for Chalk Talk with Coach Andy, Scheel and Drew. Brought to you by Quick Cut Video and Analytics. Store, share, and analyze game film. Quick Cut is an affordable video analysis platform to elevate game performance. Get started with a free trial today by visiting quickcut.com. Now here are Coach Andy, Scheel and Drew. Welcome everybody to the Sportsman's the Podcast Film Room, SPP Film Room for Chalk Talk with Coach Andy, Scheel, Marine City Mariners. Coach, how you doing today?
Doing well, Drew, doing well. Doing these Lions Chalk Talks, I tell you what, it's an awful lot of fun, especially with these results that we've been getting lately as well.
Yeah, can't argue with that. 4-1 coming off a 42-24 victory at home against the Carolina Panthers, and the game was really never in doubt, and we got to like that. Carolina came into the game 0-4. They leave 0-5, and that's how it should be, and that's how you want to see it happen. Yeah, we have quite a few clips we're going to go through, Coach. Not a lot went wrong for the Lions in this game, and I know Uper Brad has said in the past, we're throwing roses, but it's better than throwing grenades like we had been. It's just the way it's been. It's been a really rough go, but this year's been beautiful. We're in the middle of going into last year, a 12-3 run by the Lions, which is outstanding football. We haven't seen that since 1991, and that's legitimate. So at the end of the day, great game, great effort. But we're looking forward to talking about this game, and we're going to start looking at some clips here shortly. So first and foremost, let's take a look right now. And I am struggling. I'm going to edit this out. Coach, don't you worry yourself at all. Don't you be so sore at me. I'm going to figure this out. Okay, so here's the first one. This is a nice play by Khalif Raymond, Coach, and I'll talk about this one. We'll see him go in motion. What are you seeing here?
And Khalif Raymond motions across the formation here, and once we got just your action, just look for a quick second here. But what Khalif Raymond's going to do is he's going to find the soft spot in the zone. The Lions clearly understand that the Panthers are in zone coverage here, and Khalif Raymond finds that zone in between the linebackers and safeties. Finds that perfect little spot right in there. Nice pass downfield, right on the money. That's a zone breaker. That's something that happens. That's one of the kind of antithesis. And if there's a negative of zone coverage, is that there are holes in it, and the holes can be found. And good receivers and good schemes find holes, and that was an example of that right there.
Yeah, just like you said, just really nice and a good awareness. What I think we'll see a lot, folks, after you see a lot of these clips, you'll see that the Lions do a lot of homework. I think this team really does a lot of good film study in leading up to their games, and they really have a very thorough understanding of the defenses they're seeing. They're very prepared in every game, and no coincidence, they're 4-1. Yeah. But, Coach, let's take a look at this next play here. This is that flea flicker that everyone was talking about, right? Let's take a look at what's happening here.
Conceptually, this play was done and crafted fast. It was crafted real fast because they really are going to isolate on the safety Jeremy Chin here. You see you have the series of handoffs all done real crisp and executed real cleanly, and it runs right back up into Jared Goff's hands. This allows Sam Laporta to delay and run a wheel route across the face of Jeremy Chin, number 21, and get downfield for one of those 6 of those 42 points. Great play design. As we see it one more time, you see him able to just get outside of Jeremy Chin, and he completely loses him on that wheel route. That's a route that can lose a lot of defenders, and touchdown Detroit Lions.
Yeah, just to get that hesitation, he had to stop for that split second, half second to try and pick up Laporta when he realized where the ball was going to go. But that's too much time in the NFL, right?
That's right.
Great play design. Next play up here, Coach. This is a 3rd and 10 here. This is a big play. Nice corner blitz call.
One of our best plays clipped up, here, Drew, that Drew does a great job with. What you're going to see is an executed defensive back blitz here. We're going to open up a big seam for Will Harris to attack. You got a Lean McNeil driving down inside on the guard. And what you have then is you have Aiden Hutchinson driving out on Taylor Mouton, the right tackle. And he really tries to work out on his outside shoulder. If we take it back one more time, real quick there, Drew, And actually, that a little bit further back to the beginning, if we can.
Absolutely.
Okay, and that's actually John Kaminsky that rushes inside that A gap there and forces the guard inside.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got Aiden Hutchinson working across the outside and speed rushing, and that allows this big seam for Will Harris to attack. And we get outside, we get outside of Aiden Hutchinson, doggone it, but really doing a good job in his spy technique is Alex Anzalone, and that's what he is doing this whole time. And he realizes now Bryce Young is a serious run threat, and his best defense out there is to attack and to try to contain Bryce Young, which he does, and forces that great young playmaker to throw a ball out of bounds as he's inside the red zone on a scoring shot there. So great job, great defensive call, and the execution was excellent. It actually broke down a little bit, but Alex Anzalone forces himself up to make sure Bryce Young stays contained for an incomplete pass.
Yeah, it's a great example of everyone doing their job. I mean, just a really, and like you said, and even some of it broke down a little bit, but there were guys in position to recover and keep Young on the move, and he had no choice but to throw it away and live to fight another day and settle for 3 in that situation. So, yep, a great effort. Next play here. This is the Hutch's sack right here, and let's talk about this one, Coach.
Just great speed rush here. Just a great speed rush. What we talk about was speed rush. It's the highest percentage, lowest risk speed rush. He just arcs past this tight end real well. And what you have here now is he gets to the even depth of the quarterback. If he maintains his arc, Bryce Young likely throws the ball downfield or runs for a long way. But what he's going to do is spin back underneath. Okay, we can, that's oftentimes referred to as a knife technique. He actually spins. He doesn't knife underneath and rip underneath or cross over with his arm over. He spins, and that allows him to get back into the, that allows him, he spins, outward. So it allows him to maintain at least some semblance of contain. And now he's free and under, over the top of Bryce Young. And that's going to lead to one of Aiden Hutchinson's many sacks, hopefully, this year.
Yeah, and really nice job by Charles Harris because he had his guy beat too. He's already got him beat right here.
Yep. And again, just another speed rush is just good outside leverage. These guys, outside linebacker, defensive end types, when you have two that are barreling down on you like this all game, it really bodes well for the defense's performance.
Yep, great athletic play, great play by both ends there. Let's take a look at the next play here. This is the forced intentional grounding, almost a safety here, Coach. Let's talk about this one.
Now, again, where you see the speed rush get used once again, this time by Romeo Okwara, and you've got Jack Campbell that's going to push the pocket a little bit here too, and he's coming on a delayed blitz. He's really in that spy. He's really being aggressive in that spy technique. He's going to attack the space. You need to attack that space right there. But Charles Harris breaches Taylor Mouton's outside hip. He races past the hip. He stays on it. He doesn't press. He doesn't engage with his hands. He stays pressed and reaches that hip. Once he does that, he is going to be on top of Bryce Young, and Bryce Young does a great little job of getting rid of that ball. Penalty over safety, because that's what we saw right there. Bryce Young realized he may get drifted into the end zone here if he hangs on and tries to do something with it, or hangs on to take the sack. He gets rid of it. Yes, it's intentional grounding, but that wasn't 2 points at least.
Yeah, it was a smart play by Young, and having the benefit of replay right away, it was like, yeah, okay, he definitely wasn't in the end zone. It was a smart, good decision because absolutely would have been a safety, no question about that. Great effort by both Campbell and Okwara, their coach. Here we go. This is the direct snap. This was a clever play call by Ben Johnson. Let's talk about this one.
Yeah, clever play call by Ben Johnson. And actually, Carolina doesn't take the poison on it. They actually do pretty well. It doesn't just go. But what you have is Jared Goff just off center from Ray Ragnow. And then you see he looks like he's audibling, and then it looks like he's drifting away on a play or to pick up a fumble. Ball was actually direct snapped to David Montgomery. You see some great initial surge. Left side of the line, you got some great initial surge, and you see Taylor Decker's up to the next level, picking up on a linebacker. That's all you need for a guy like Dave Montgomery to get his shoulders parallel and grind forward for another Detroit Lion first down. Real good play, but the execution and the physicality, the grit is showing here, Lions fans. And as you can see, as David Montgomery finishes this off with a David Montgomery style run, which is about 4 or 5 extra yards after contact.
Look at that effort. That's awesome. That's really awesome to see. But yeah, you're right. Carolina played it well. They played it really well. I mean, it was a very well executed play by the Lions, but they really weren't fooled on it. But they still executed up front and took care of business. And Montgomery running so hard, and he runs so low to the ground, right, Coach? I mean, his center of gravity, man, he's so compact and strong, unreal. Now let's take a look at the next play here. This is just pitch and catch to Josh Reynolds. This is really just a beautiful play to watch. A beautiful throw by Jared Goff.
Yeah, if anything, this is just a tip of the cap to number 16. This is just a great throw. I mean, he really sees where on the field and you know that where he can actually take his shot here. You know, it's pretty safe. He's got a lot of field to work with. He's got a lot of room to the sideline, and he just wants to be able to, you know, really isolate on that outside shoulder, you know, of Josh Reynolds here and just get the ball in that general area to where he's the only guy that can catch it. And that's exactly what you see there. Just a tremendous ball. That really just goes to show that Jared Goff was really on the money last week. 20 of 28 for 236 and 3 TDs. He's on the money.
Just a really nice throw. And like we talked about, you know, prior to recording here, you know, you said he's not going to blaze the ball in there like Matt Stafford. He's not going to run around like Mahomes or Jackson. He's just going to make really nice throws like that. And we saw it all game long. He really was on the money in this game. Really nice throw. Let's talk now about the David Montgomery 42-yard touchdown. Jameson Williams and Marvin Jones downfield making some key blocks here, Coach. Let's talk about it.
The wide receiver room getting involved in the run game, which is great to see. It is really good to see this kind of effort by Jameson Williams. And I think, you know, this really, you know, this is satisfying to see, but it also shows a guy that was recruited by Ohio State and Alabama. Real active and physical in the run game here. He's doing it with his hands inside. You know, right there, he's not clutching. He's not plucking and grabbing at the defender in any way where he could get a holding call. He's not diving down in the legs or leaving his feet to where we could get some sort of chop block. And his hands aren't up high where we can get illegal hands in the face. Just real active hand fighting and being physical. And then it was off to the races. You see, if we wind it back, Marvin Jones gets just enough of a defender here. Zero at the top. He's working right here. He hammers down to try to get some leverage there, but he just tied him up just enough to where his angle was not good enough. And David Montgomery was able to scoot himself in for a Detroit Lion touchdown. David Montgomery off to a great start with the Lions. Real terrific, you know, effort. He's even missed a game so far, but he's off to a great start. Served as the emergency quarterback last week too, with Amon-Ra St. Brown down. That's what would have happened if Jared Goff and Teddy Bridgewater were unable to be out on the field. You would have saw Dave Montgomery in there taking some center snaps. Another kudos to Dave Montgomery coming out to the Grosse Pointe South Blue Devil St. Clair Shores Lakeview Husky football game last weekend. Mm-hmm. And that was real cool to see because you know, it really feels good when you know our Sunday boys in blue are you know, coming after us and looking at our stuff on Friday night. So that's kind of fun. You know, thank you very much, David. We appreciate you for doing what you did.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. I saw that too, Coach. That was awesome. Good guy. Let's take a look now here. This is the Hutchinson interception. And really, Coach, this is just an outstanding individual effort, but it's worth looking at.
Yeah, this isn't a technique or anything like that. This is just an unreal individual effort and play here by a great athlete. I mean, you know, he's not set up to defend this tight end here. That's not what he's being asked to do. But, you know, he comes right underneath, and he's able to get enough of his hand on that ball to steady it and get underneath. Now, he gets really tackled pretty rough here by John Mingo. You know, that kind of sucked because that could have been a real catastrophic hit. That's what we have. He banged right into that hip there. But, you know, the weight room warrior that Aiden Hutchinson is, that only cost him a couple of snaps, and he was back in there affecting the game. So, yeah, you know, just a great play. You know, really, that's all that can be said about that one.
Yeah, absolute great individual effort. That some people kind of, I think a lot of people thought, or a lot of fans thought it wasn't a big deal and he didn't miss a play. Yeah, he missed a series. But to your point, he's such a workout warrior. I mean, he's able to absorb hits like that. I guarantee he's stinging, and he was stinging in that game too. But he did come back and he played most of the game. He only missed the one series, but hell of a hit, but a great play. Great play. Now here's the Sam Laporta touchdown inside the red zone here, Coach. Let's talk about what we see here.
Okay, well, once again, really what you have is a poor play by a defender by the Carolina Panthers. Brian Burns is going to try to affect a play he has no chance in making here. You're going to see the play action pass is going to be a counter action to Dave Montgomery to the offensive right. Brian Burns is going to think, and he's going to try to make this play from all the way underneath on the other side. That allows Jared Goff to drift and find his angle to throw to this corner route that Sam Laporta is running. You see a defender pick it up. He picks it up, and he's not in bad shape at all. But it allowed Jared Goff to stay just out in front of Sam Laporta enough to adjust his angle and throw that short of the pylon, and Laporta could then do the rest himself, the yard and a half that he had to do himself. But really, this is a negative play on Brian Burns.
So I got a question, Coach. Looking at this play, like right here. Now, he hasn't even gotten the handoff yet, but he's already fully committed to it.
He's pinching hard underneath, and he's getting shoved down inside. That should just tell him right then and there that they're not trying to seal him. They're allowing him to come underneath.
Yeah.
And right there, he's gone and out of the way here. Josh Reynolds does his job of just, go ahead, Brian. You go try to take care of that play right here. The ball's out here. So great play scheme by the Lions, and Brian Burns took the poison on that one.
Yep, can't argue with that one, Coach. Not at all. Great play. This is the Tommy Tremble touchdown. So this is really a good play. I wouldn't say there was any misstep by the Lions here, but it's really just a well-designed play, and it's something that they'll have to work on. But it's just a well-designed play. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, kudos to the Panthers for this play. It's a great play. When you're down at this close and you have any kind of play action, any kind of ball action or dive action, you got to honor it. You have to draw it up. It's not that the linebackers didn't get sucked in. The linebackers didn't get tricked. They're doing their job. And really, Jack Campbell is not horrible here. He's trying to maintain an edge and leverage, because you could have Bryce Young trying to boot out and run this ball in. Well, all he does is do that, and doing so, Tremble's able to rip inside, and just get just inside of him at that one step. And it was really a nice play call and play scheme by the Carolina Panthers. All glitters is not gold. The Panthers made some plays too, and that was a nice one. That was a good job by them.
Yep. Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, so we're not always chucking the roses, right? We're going to show some of the things that happen, but again, you got to tip your cap. That's a good play.
Absolutely.
This is a nice play here. Big gain to Josh Reynolds and Jared Goff. Another nice throw. A little more zip on this one, Coach. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, well, Drew, you brought up the point, when we were previewing here that, it seems like it's all big plays to Josh Reynolds, either first downs or touchdowns. But you see here, when we were talking about Jared Goff not having a cannon arm, this is a pretty doggone good throw. This ball had some mustard on it. Here you go. Yep. You see inside here, it's going to be a free play. Derek Brown, who struggled, he struggled in this game and struggled in the second half, jumped offside, and that really delayed the whole rush. As you can see right here, Jared Goff has all day to throw this thing. They're not even rushing him, really. If you want to let a guy like that be able to cock back and throw a missile shot to a sure-handed receiver like Josh Reynolds, who, again, finds a little bit of a spot in between the two defenders there, he's just going to throw a missile here. And this is showing some arm strength from Jared Goff. This is a well-thrown ball. It's a rocket shot. And, here you go, 25, 30 quick yards, boom, another Lions first down, declining that penalty, way more yards on the play.
Great awareness. I'm sure, there was some cadence at the line, maybe some voice inflection. Drew him offside, drew Derek Brown offside, for neutral zone infraction, and they were able to get the first down and take a shot downfield, realizing that they had a free play. So Aaron Rodgers is a master of that. Jared Goff did a hell of a job at that as well. Nice play. Coach, here we go. We got a screenplay, David Montgomery, and this is a play action fake to Montgomery, and then he comes back to him with a screen. Let's talk about this one.
End of the third, beginning of the fourth, we need to slow down the Carolina Panthers pass rush. They were kind of gaining on us a little bit and getting off of on us on the edge a little bit. Knocked Goff to the ground a couple times and got him sacked a couple times as well. What these screenplays do is it allows the rush to come upfield. It allows the rush to come upfield and us to throw behind it. And this is a really well executed play. If you rewind it back, Dave Montgomery gets this screen pass left. And as this play unfolds, you see Taylor Decker, Jonah Jackson, and Frank Ragnow come off. And I'm sorry, that wasn't Ragnow. That was Grant Glasgow. Mm-hmm. And you got these three out in front. The cavalry's out in front. You got a guy that's going to get his shoulders parallel like Dave Montgomery. Here we go. Another Detroit Lion first down. Another David Montgomery first down.
It can't be overstated or said enough, right, Coach? If you can run the ball effectively, it gives you all kinds of possibilities. And the fact that Montgomery, when Gibbs is playing, they're able to run. Reynolds has been able to run when needed. And it just opens up the passing game exponentially because you've got to respect it.
Well, and to take it even one step further, it's those coaches do a great job in between series and adjusting their play calls to help kind of nullify the Panther pass rush, which was really getting off and creating some steam upfield. So they did a great job of attacking that and poking at the underbelly of that philosophy. And once again, they were able to move the ball successfully even when they were getting a good pass rush.
Absolutely. So this is the Josh Reynolds touchdown. Another play action touchdown. This one from the 2-yard line. Let's talk about this one, Coach.
Play action pass is very, very popular down at the goal line because you're going to draw run defenders, and that's what you want to do. They have to honor this run. You see this safety come up and do so. Has to do it. Craig Reynolds takes the ball fake. It's not an amazing ball fake, but it just draws him just enough for now there to be an inside go for Josh Reynolds. And here's a high thrown ball. This is just a great feat, great pro catch by Josh Reynolds, who's really an unsung football player on the Detroit Lions, one of our best. And, again, there's 6 more of those 42 points right there. Josh Reynolds with his toe tapping routine there and looking like a young Sammy Davis Jr. or maybe a Ben Vereen.
That's some high praise, Coach. If you don't know who those folks are, Google it.
Gregory Hines,
absolutely. Fantastic dancers, entertainers, those toe tapping. They could make plays
like Cad Calloway, a happy guy right there. That was a tremendous athleticism, though. All kidding aside and teasing aside, just a great body control by a way an underrated player. And Josh Reynolds and Jared Goff are two of a kind. They're a couple of winners from the Los Angeles Rams organizations. That's all they did while they were there was win. And those are two tremendous character guys, great teammates, leaders in their position groups. We're lucky to have them, and they're making plays out there.
You got it. Here's the last one we're going to talk about, Coach. This is the Jerry Jacobs interception, his league-leading 3rd interception, Coach. Let's talk about this.
Brad Holmes saw this in Jerry Jacobs. He saw this type of ability and this kind of football IQ in number 23. Again, here we go. We are in zone coverage here. His eyes are active. You've got 2 defenders. It's a triangle scheme coming underneath. As you see Adam Thielen right here setting the other point of the triangle over here. But over the top of it, you have another receiver going downfield. Jerry Jacobs knows this. He felt him run past him. And as he sees that ball come out, he knows to drift. He knows to drift because that receiver is going to be right there bracketed by Kirby Joseph. And of course, and he does a great job of reading it. Bryce Young throws the ball short. And it's another Jerry Jacobs interception. Guy's undrafted, could be going to the Pro Bowl. Could. I'm not saying he is. That's no guaranteed statement there, but he's having one heck of a year. He'll take the penalty over touchdown, which is a coach I would like anyway. I think we always would want that. He's going to get physical. When he knows he's beat, he's not going to allow that defender or that offensive player to make plays on him. But boy, does he make plays, and he can play zone coverage with the best of them, Drew.
Yeah, excellent play. I don't know if he baited Young. I heard somebody refer to it as that. I wouldn't say that, but I would say I agree with you. he felt that receiver come over top, and he I think it's a matter of, he guessed right. He's like, I'm gonna cheat back, because let's face it, if he does go underneath, he's gonna stop him likely for a 7-8 yard gain. But if the gamble pays off like it did, interception. Nice read.
Yeah, I guess it's a matter of perspective. I guess I never would see it as a defensive back baiting a wide receiver to throw into an area. I mean, that could be someone's perception of it. I think, it was his reads and it was all through Bryce Young's reads. He probably should have, repositioned his shoulders and thrown the Thielen there and picked up whatever yards he could. But he went for a bigger, greedier strike, and he did. And he completely lost Jerry Jacobs underneath that as he was drifting. And, that ball was thrown short in an area where if Jerry Jacobs didn't drift, it would have been fine. He probably would have been caught, in that area. And we saw that a lot in the past with the Lions. Yeah. Jacobs was there, did a great job.
So great effort by the Lions. A depleted roster, missing a lot of key players, namely St. Brown, Gibbs, and Branch, to name a few. But nonetheless, 42-24 victory. Great analysis, Coach. Love going into the film room and doing some chalk talk with you. So for Coach Andy Scheel of the Marine City Mariners, I'm Drew. We'll talk to you next week with another edition of Chalk Talk, brought to you by Quick Cut Analytics Software. Take care, everyone. We'll talk to you soon. This has been the Sports Peninsula Podcast. To subscribe to the podcast, simply click the subscribe button on our YouTube channel's homepage and give us a like. You can also follow our audio podcast on multiple platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Google Podcasts, just to name a few. Give us a follow on Twitter. Our handle is @SportsPPodcast to check out our latest releases. Thank you again for watching and for your support. Remember, when you want to hear all about sports in the great state of Michigan, there is only one Sports Peninsula Podcast.